In all the great stories, the narrative and characters intermingled and interwoven to create something amazing. Some of the best writers just knew how to construct their narratives into something that will blossom into something truly special, sometimes even studied and looked at in classes to this very day. Many manga and comics are also renowned for their storytelling. Frank Miller's Daredevil Born Again, a story about how one person's selfish action nearly destroyed a man's life. Or even Death Note, a story about how absolute power is truly corruptible, and in the end, self-destructive. The shonen scene in manga usually is not praised for its storytelling. Now, that is not me seeing anything objective, but rather that's how it's usually seen as. There are exceptions to this rule, of course. Fullmetal Alchemist, The Gray Man, and Chainsaw Man are some of the best examples. But there is another series that everyone has slept through, a series that might possibly be the best manga I have ever read. Dog Nigga. Now, DN's plot is something that honestly is on par with Berserk. No, I'm not shitting you. While other series will revolve around a singular character or an ensemble cast, each character has their own motivations and goals. But here, for Dog Nigga, has a backstory and motivation that everyone can get behind and relate to. You see, the main character Rex was born after a man raped a female dog. Rex lived a life of being a man-dog hybrid, loved by nobody, the hatred of his father burning in him. Rex's goal in his life is to find his father and rape him. What? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, enough with playing us straight, but honestly, that aspect of Dog Nigga is its charm. Just right down to the name. And depending on who you ask, this web series is either the edgiest thing on the planet or the best satire of shonen manga out there. And honestly, I kind of avoided doing research on this series mostly because either way you look at it, whether you're supposed to take this series seriously or not, you can have a blast of a time going through it, regardless. Now, the quote-unquote plot of Dog Nigga, pretty much how I put it earlier. The main character, Rex, wants to rape his dad. As you do. But there are other story arcs and characters that do come into play. Turns out Rex's dad actually sends a few assassins after him. At the beginning, it's actually a hitman who has such an overly dramatic backstory. Again, it feeds into the either intentional or unintentional satirical aspect of the web series, as it clearly does the whole villain with sad backstory trope that is very prevalent in shonen series and in other series as well. Other individual who goes against Rex is Trish, aka Cat Bitch, whose backstory is that an old cat lady had let a bunch of cats run a train on her, and all that cum amalgamated and that created Trish. So yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, she has a black hole in her pussy. I'm not joking. And that kind of ties in the overall tone of the series, and like I said before, it's so overly dramatic, it circles back around to being some of the corniest shit on the planet, and I have no idea if that is intentional or not. And that is the best part in my opinion. Not to mention the fact that the dialogue is something else. And if your dad's giving you problems, just rape him. Shit, that's what I'm gonna do. I ain't letting nobody stop me from raping my dad. Top gassing that little Nick. I can't fucking finish this shit. Jesus Christ, this fucking dialogue's terrible. Oh my god, who the fuck writes this shit? I'm sorry. This is just too fucking funny. Yeah, it is. It's something else. That's what I'll say. Gonna get a little sidetracked a bit, but the art is rather serviceable. But it's clear that there is either not much quality control, or that the artist kind of rushed to get things done because some panels look like they were drawn once, like rapidly, while others look pretty good, almost on par with official series. I'm not lying. Like, for in Total Edge Fest, some of the fights are actually good. I'm not, like, I was actually baffled when I gone through the first fight with the Hitman. I was actually mesmerizing, and it actually caught me off guard. I was actually expecting something on par with, and this isn't me dissing one or anything, but if any of you actually read OG One Punch Man, looked through that series and how it originally looked, that's kind of what I was expecting, not what was actually shown. Granted, the art is very much hit or miss, like I said before, but it's done by one guy. It's clearly a amateur doing this for fun and not an official artist, so I'm not going to hold that against him. This whole thing is a web series after all, so these things usually come and go. Not everyone is on the same level of In Case, if you know who that is, and that's the Coomer and me actually talking, but that's one of the bigger ones that actually came to my mind. Don't know if I'll be talking about Alfie in the future, but that's neither here nor there. Now, this is where I'm gonna be a little bit more critical here. Yeah, I know, right? But let me get to my actual point. This is definitely not gonna be for everybody, alright? Like around the 9th chapter mark, brace yourselves, there is a school shooter. Yep. And it's stuff like that that I have a hard time recommending this, even as a guilty pleasure. There is fun to be had, sure. The action is serviceable, the dialogue is pure gold, and the main character is a living embodiment of 2000's edge, living in current year. But it's shit like the school shooter crap, cop stuff, some other aspects of it that do just yank me out and do make me go, is this meant to be taken seriously at all? And I know what I said earlier, but the thing is, everything is so over the top to the point where it is almost laughable. But when you get to moments like those, it just clashes with the overall tone. And I don't know if that's intentional or unintentional. And again, like I said before, I specifically avoided doing research on this because I did not want to know if that was intentional or not. But there are aspects of that that do make me roll my eyes to the back of my head. That is a bit of a minor criticism, if anything. I still enjoyed it regardless. I still enjoyed reading it. It's just those moments right there are just the ones that are just really egregious, if anything, if that's the right word for it. But regardless of all that I have mentioned, and you don't mind that, and you have a sick sense of humor like myself, go ahead and give Dog Nigga or Dog Nijin, as it's officially titled now, kinda. If you need a laugh, I could not recommend this enough. So that's all for now. Take care, stay chill, Wanderers. Holy shit, this is fucking stupid.